I just wanted to quickly do another division question just to give more of an example of long division, because I know when I did it a couple of weeks ago, a lot of people found it tricky, which is absolutely understandable given that it is a higher year 6 problem to solve, long division. And yeah, it's something that's only been in the curriculum for a few years, and I found it quite tricky when I started. So I thought I'd give another example, a bit slower, talk through it a bit more detail, and then hopefully you can take something away from that. So here's an example problem, 756 divided by 12. Remember, it's 756 that is the number that is then being divided by 12. You are splitting this number into groups of 12. If you had 12 and you were dividing it by 4, that's okay because you're splitting it into 4 parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that is what we're okay with because we can see we've got 3 groups of 4. But it's exactly the same method, it's exactly the same logic, but we have a different method. We still use bus stop, so we put our 756 here and our 12 here, but instead of working across like you do in traditional bus stop, we work down. And the reason we work down is because it's very hard to put 12 are constantly into these numbers because we know our 12 times table up to 12 times 12. We're not expected in the curriculum to go further than that. So instead, we are taking away chunks of 12. We could take away 12, take away 12, take away 12, take away 12 forever, but that would take a long time. So we are going to make groups of 12. We're going to get them ready. And then we're going to subtract those groups of 12, and at the end, we'll come to 0, there'll be nothing left, and we'll have a whole number at the top. So for example, a really obvious group of 12 is 12 times 10, which is 120. You can think of some more. 5 12s are 60, there's another group. Now, it's 756. So we want quite a big group of 12. Now, I know that 12 times 2 is 24. If I do 12 times 20, I add a 0 there, I can add a 0 here. And that's quite a good one to start with. So I've got 20 groups of 12. So I'm going to subtract that 20 groups of 12 away. So that is 6. 1 and 5. Okay, so I've subtracted 20 groups of 12. I've subtracted 12, but already 20 times. I can do another lot of 20 there because the top number is bigger than the number underneath. You know that with subtraction. So 6, so that's 4, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. And 4 take away 2 is 2. Right, as you can see now, we can't do another lot of 240. Let's go to 120. So, that's 6, 7, 6, 5, 1, 6, 5. I'm just going to check that I'm not going too far down the board. I am going a little bit, so I'm going to use the space up here. I'm going to carry on. That's absolutely fine. If you do this on the page and you go to the bottom, carry on. So I'm at now 156 and I've done 20, 40. I did another group of 10 there. So 156. Can I subtract? I can do another lot of 120. I can do 10 lots of 12. So I'll subtract that. So that's 6, 3, 0. Oh, 36. I can put 36 into groups of 12 because I know my 12 times table. 1 12 is 12, 2 12s are 24, 3 12s are 36. So I've subtracted 3 lots of 12 and that will take me to 0. Now, if you don't get to 0 at the bottom, there's been a mistake made somewhere. It might be that you've just made a quick subtraction error, so go back and try it again. So let's have a look. So our answer is 20, 40, 50, 60, 63. So I think it's that mental part of thinking, it looks really confusing, but if you just remember that you're grouping this number into, and you're taking away those groups of 12, you're splitting it into groups of 12 and using this method of making bigger groups of 12 before you start, it should be okay. Try it yourself. Try with a question that I might have given you in the past, or have a look at last week's lesson and see if you can have a go at that yourself. Okay. I hope that helped.